I once met a man who had every advantage you could imagine. A sharp mind, a loving family, a decent job, and doors opening for him. 2 decades later, he was a different man. His shoulders were stooped. The light in his eyes had dimmed. When we talked, he didn't speak about failure. He spoke about all the things he had never tried. He told me, "I'm not angry about what I failed at. I'm dying because of what I never attempted." That sentence stayed with me. It changed how I think about risk, comfort, and what it really costs to succeed. Most of us are terrified of failing. We rehearse all the ways it might go wrong. We worry about judgment, humiliation, looking foolish. So we invent safety, endless planning, more research, one more course, another perfect moment to begin. But the real tragedy isn't failure. The real tragedy is wasted potential, the life that quietly evaporates because we never force ourselves to act. I want to be blunt. Knowing what to do and doing it are 2 different worlds. We all know what must change. The overweight person knows they need to move. The person in debt knows they must spend less and earn more. The unhappy worker knows it's time to shift. The person in a toxic relationship knows a conversation must be had, but they don't have it. Why? Because avoidance is easy. Avoidance is comfortable. It soothes the moment. It's a drug that numbs the urgency of life while the underlying problem grows louder and heavier every day. This is the weight of what we don't do, and it compounds. Every avoided call makes the next one harder. Every postponed project grows more overwhelming. Every unspoken truth lets distance widen between people. Avoidance doesn't heal, it ossifies. What separates the people who build the life they want from the ones who don't isn't talent, luck, or perfect timing. It's the ability to force yourself to do what's necessary, even when you don't want to. That skill, forcing yourself forward, is the single greatest differentiator I've seen in every life that turns out well. Here's how it looks in practice. When I was younger, I promised myself I'd read 30 minutes every day. Day 3, exhausted, I turned on the TV. Day 7, I was ready to quit. I felt ashamed not because I failed at reading, but because I'd broken a promise to myself. If I couldn't keep a simple commitment, how could I expect to keep much bigger ones? So I created a forcing mechanism. No breakfast until I read. No coffee until I read. No leaving the house until I read. Simple, annoying, effective. It removed the option to skip. I stopped negotiating. I acted, and a profound thing happened. Action created motivation. I didn't wait to feel like doing it. I started doing it, and the doing made me feel like it. By the end of the month, it was a habit. By the year, it changed my life. This is the essence of systems over feelings. Motivation is unreliable, like weather. But if you design your environment and your rules, systems will produce action, whether you feel like it or not. So how do you force yourself to act? Here are practical tools I've used and taught. Make the escape route hard. If you want to exercise, lay your clothes out the night before and put the alarm across the room. If you want to write, leave your laptop open on the page you're working on. Don't rely on willpower in the moment of decision. Pre-decide. Use small, unavoidable rituals. Commit to 1 call, 1 page, 1 conversation every day. Not 5, 1. Make it non-negotiable. The aim is momentum, not heroics. Design your environment. Remove temptations and surround yourself with cues for action. Hide the remote. Place inspiring books on your nightstand. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb until a task is done. Make public commitments. Tell someone you respect what you will do. Accountability converts intention into reality. Reputation matters, and it will push you through doubt. Create forcing deadlines. Give yourself a short, tight deadline that forces start over endless planning. You'll be surprised how creative you become under constraints. There's another idea I want you to hold close. Seasons of necessary work. Life moves in cycles. There's planting, growth, harvest, and rest. Each season requires a different kind of courage. Spring is for starting. You plant seeds. You take the first frightening steps. This requires courage more than skill. Summer is for showing up. The novelty fades, and persistence is the test. Summer is where most quit. Autumn is for harvesting and honest pruning. You must decide what to keep and what to cut. Winter is for reflection and preparation. You study, rest, and sharpen for the next season. If you try to harvest in spring, you'll fail. If you skip summer, there's no autumn. Recognize your season and do the work it demands. Force yourself to act in the season you're in. Now let's talk about fear. Fear is the most persistent excuse. Fear of failure, fear of judgment, fear of change. The people who succeed don't lack fear. They feel it and move anyway. Courage is not the absence of fear. It's action in spite of it. Here's a short test to bypass fear. Ask yourself 3 questions before you avoid action. What will happen if I do this? Picture realistic outcomes. Often the worst case is smaller than your imagination. What will happen if I don't? Consider the slow, accumulating cost of continued avoidance. What sort of person do I want to become? Connect the small action to your identity. Who do you want to be? When you answer honestly, the path forward becomes obvious. The temporary discomfort of doing what's necessary is nearly always less than the long-term regret of avoidance. Remember the stories of the 2 men I witnessed years ago. One forced himself to do what had to be done repeatedly. Hard phone calls, painful conversations, course corrections. The other delayed, rationalized, and waited for perfect timing. 20 years later, their lives were unrecognizable. Forced action built a life of influence, health, and respect. Avoidance built regret and lost opportunity. Force yourself not because you enjoy it, but because your future self deserves it. When you keep promises to yourself, you build the most important muscle of all, self-trust. Each promise kept compounds into a reputation, the one you have with yourself. And that reputation makes future discipline easier. So here's my challenge to you. Tonight, identify one necessary thing you've been avoiding, one specific action, a call, a conversation, one page, one meeting, one appointment. Make a plan so you cannot avoid it. Set the alarm, remove the escape. Tell one person, set the deadline. Tomorrow, before you do anything else, do it. No negotiation, no excuse. Force the action and notice what happens. The relief, the lift in confidence, the momentum, that's the feeling of becoming someone who acts. Because in the end, everything you want in life waits on the other side of necessary action. The health you dream of, the relationships you want, the work that matters. They're all reachable, not by perfect planning, but by steady, courageous doing. The time for hesitation is over. The person who can force yourself forward is the person looking back at you in the mirror. Choose action, make the call, write the first line, have the conversation. Start small and then keep going. Do the necessary things today and watch the life you've been imagining begin to show up.